Hi everyone, and welcome to Tasty Food Easy. Today we're going to be doing a potato and leek soup. For this, it's nice and easy. We need potatoes, already peeled. Doesn't matter if you use a little bit of sweet potato or any sort of potato will do. Leeks, some onion, rosemary, my favourite herb, because that gives it that nice earthy flavour. Some garlic, some butter, some beautiful KoronOil from my mate Peterapostle. I'll have all the details for this beautiful oil. It can be used for anything, just for dipping. I use it just a little bit with some butter, so it gives it a nice flavour in when I'm browning things off. It shouldn't really be used for cooking, but it's that good, I've got to use it. And a little bit of parsley just to finish. Now, to start off with, we need a container that we're going to cook in. And into this we're going to whack our onions. Onion has to be roughly chopped, as we're going to blitz it all down at the end. Always have a sharp knife. Now, most accidents at home are caused by blunt knives. Excuse me for a sec while I just pick that up. Get as much as you can out of the onion. Always have a nice steel on hand, just to give it a bit of a run, and that keeps it all nice and sharp and keeps all of the steel all going, the blades all going in the one direction, stops it from being zigzag. Just throw it all into a pot, so you chop it all up. Now, seeing that it's coming into winter down here in Australia, these sort of soups, always nice and easy to make, nice and hearty, always good on a cold day, which it is today. And also a sharp knife stops the tears from the onion as well. So find it cuts through it nice and quickly and easily, and you don't get as much crying. So throw in our onion. Get that out of the way. Alright, now leeks. Get that out of the way. Just an easy chop on these as well. As you get up towards the top of them, you don't want to use too much of the green, and you may find that the outside's a bit average, so it never hurts to take those outside leaves off and just use the nice tender inside leaves, like so. They can go in as well. Get rid of those outside leaves. Alrighty, and one more, this little bugger. And again, get rid of the outside leaves. Alright, so I'm going to give it a little bit of this beautiful oil, just to stop our butter from burning when we're sauteing this off. A couple of nice chunks of butter. And we'll go over to the stove, we'll saute that off. While that's starting to saute off, we'll chop up the garlic and we'll chop up the rosemary and throw them in as well. Alright, we're just at the stove for the moment. I'm just showing you putting that on the stove. We're just going to slowly start to saute this off. It only means you put it on a low heat. You just wait till everything starts to melt down and combine. While that's doing that, we'll go back over to the chopping board and we'll chop down some garlic and we'll chop down the rosemary as well, and we'll put that all in. Okay, we're back over here at the chopping board. Now what we're going to do is just chop down a couple of cloves of garlic. Just sort of give them a fine it's not too fine. As I say, it is all going to be blitzed down at the end, so we just want to give it just a bit of a chop. I always find that it's best to have fresh cloves of garlic because it gets that beautiful garlic oil coming out of it, and you can't get that out of like the bottle stuff. Like if you've got a garlic press, then sure, use a garlic press and use that and squeeze it out, but I find this is the best way to get the best flavour. Again, as I say, it's not a massive chop down, it's only just you don't want it really fine. It is all going to be blitzed in at the end, so that should just about do it, and we'll go and throw that into our pot. Just one sec. And then we'll do our rosemary. Easy, just strip the rosemary down. Now there's lovely rosemary growing out in the garden, it's beautiful. Always good to have fresh herbs out in your garden if you can as well. You know, I've got rosemary out there, we've got some parsley, we've got parsley, you know, we could open up our own parsley farm. It's not that much of it out there. Again, give this a fair chop. Like I say, this adds a nice earthy flavour to the potato leek. Just gives it a little bit more of an undertone. Yeah, it just adds to it. I mean, you can use a bit of sage, if you've got sage as well, but just find that the earthier sort of herbs, yeah, go very well with the earth products like leek and potato. Alright, that should do it. I can hear it hissing over on the stove, so let's go back to the stove. Alright, we're back at the stove. Things are starting to sweat down, as you can see, the butter's starting to melt, we're starting to get a bit of a hiss here. Onion's starting to go a little bit clear, translucent as they call it. Throw the rosemary in there, the garlic's already in there. Throw the rosemary in. Keep sweating that off for a bit. Now you'll know when it's sort of ready, you'll get all the aroma starting to come out of it, but everything will start to have softened up. And that's when you want it to throw from there, you throw the potatoes in. And it's all softening up nicely. Back to the chopping board. Now with the potatoes, pretty easy. Again, like I said, it's best if you've got a nice sharp knife because it'll just slide right through them. We're just chopping them into little chunks, not too small, but nice chunks. The smaller the chunks, the faster it cooks. And we're just going to quickly give these a bit of a chop while we're still sweating off the onion and the leek and the garlic over there. Now I generally use, for those two size leeks, or those leeks that we had there, generally about 4 potatoes is about all you need. 4 big potatoes. Unfortunately I had these small ones in the cupboard that were starting to go off, so again, Don't throw them out, use them. Okay, well we're back at the stove. As you can see, everything's sweated down beautifully. It's all looking nice and soft. It's all smelling fantastic. Pity this isn't a bloody smell-o-vision. Just grab our potatoes. Bang the potatoes in. Now what we want to do here is we're just going to put enough water in it just to cover over the potatoes. So you can always add more water at the end if you think it's too thick after you've blitzed it all down. But let's just put a couple of bowls of water in. There's one, we'll probably go one more. Yeah, about 1.5 I put there in bowls. So what we're going to do now is just bring that all to the boil. Should take about 30 minutes, 45 minutes for it to soften all down. You wait until you can actually slide a knife through the potatoes, so you get yourself a very, very fine pointed knife. Just get into one of the chunks, and once you pick the chunk up and it just slides off your knife, then you know it's all cooked. So we'll be back to you once this is all cooked. Okay everyone, well we've had that on cooking for about 40 minutes now. Now just check your potatoes, just make sure that they're nice and soft. Yeah, they're popping off okay. From there, we haven't put any salt and pepper in it yet. We'll season that right at the very end. All we're going to do is turn it on. Get out our trusty blitzer, or hand wand as they call them. We'll just plug her in and give it a blitz. Okay, now after you've finished doing all your blitzing and your seasoning, season it to taste. Nice bit of salt and cracked black pepper in it. And it's time to serve it up. As I say, this is probably the perfect consistency for it. Just lovely and creamy. Haven't added anything else into it to make it this way. It's just its texture after you've done it. That's beautiful looking potato and leek soup. Now just to finish it off, I'm just going to chop up a little bit of parsley. Always good to have a bit of fresh parsley on hand, it just adds to the flavour. And just chop some of that up, whack it on top, and we're all finished for the afternoon on this one. We can all have a nice bit of soup. Oh yeah, I got a lot of fresh parsley. And that's it. That's our beautiful, nice and easy potato and leek soup. Alright, hope you enjoy.